Hello, welcome to today's video diary for finding my way with Pi, purpose, intention, and emotion. I am Pi, and today I'm thinking about just adjustment. So the thoughts that I want to examine in my video diary today is, when do you know when it's time to adjust a commitment that you made? And specifically, one that you made to yourself. So here's what I'm thinking about. In January, in the beginning of this year, and I'm now about 8 months in since it's mid-August, I made this commitment to myself about finding my way with Pi, doing daily video diaries, examining with curiosity my emotions and my thoughts, and what can I learn from them. It has been a stunningly transformative experience, and I have found my voice and settled into myself, and I feel good. I also am discovering that daily, meaning Monday through Sunday, start again on Monday, that I'm not sure if I need to do daily. I know I mentioned this in a prior video diary, so if you've been following along, you've seen me say, hey, there's been this transformation. Like, before I needed this, I really felt this. I have got to sit down and examine what I'm feeling because it just wasn't in a good place. And the thought that these could now become generative and more uplifting. And I do agree with that. And I'm also noticing that I think I need perhaps one day off, if that makes sense, one day off a week, one day off from doing the daily video diaries. And here's what I'm thinking. I wonder if I need that to give myself a day to do other things, focus on other things, maybe even a day of rest, so to speak. Like maybe it'll be Sundays that I'll have off, or Saturdays or something on the weekend, or just let it flow. And if I need a day that week, awesome. And if not, that's okay too. But it's really the flexibility of it. It is this figuring out that delicate and beautiful balance between making commitment to yourself and having putting in effort to do said commitment and being consistent with it, and giving yourself some grace when life happens, for good or tough. So yesterday I did not do a daily video diary, and the reason was it was all good. We got to spend a day together as a family with our close family friends and their kids, with our kids, and we actually ended up spending a day at our neighborhood pool. And then while we were at the pool, we saw so many neighbors, and then we saw some other good friends up there. We got to introduce. Have been our good friends for 2 decades. These are our good friends, and we've known them for like 7-something years, and our daughter babysits for them, and we got to introduce them. And then, the one family ended up needing to go home, and the other family was like, hey, you guys want to come for dinner? And listen, we got to play, we got to be spontaneous, we got to roll with it. And we ended up staying kind of late after dinner and talking and having wonderful, heartfelt conversations. The kids played. At the end of the day, I feel so good, and my heart is full. And this was just a day of play and adventure and rest and enjoyment and some heartfelt, soulful conversations, and I was feeling really good. And here's the thing, we got home, and it wasn't until after midnight when I got ready for bed. And at that point in time, it did cross my mind, I didn't do my daily video diary today. Should I? Should I? Now, for some of you hearing this, maybe that feels like a crazy thought to you. Like, of course you shouldn't. It's midnight, you had a great day, go to bed, pick up again tomorrow. I, however, have this pattern of holding myself so rigidly to effort and taking action and being disciplined and being consistent that it's challenging for me when I don't do that, even when it's simply a personal goal or something that I want to achieve for myself, and it doesn't have a consequence for anything else. It's like, if I'm going to depend on myself and I make a commitment, I want to follow through. That's important to be true to my word, regardless of who I give my word to. So grappling with that internally for me is like, am I letting myself down if I don't do this every day? Or is it okay to have that day of rest and play? Am I letting anyone else down? I mean, this is interestingly slowly grown beyond what I ever anticipated. And certainly this is just a personal experiment for me. And so hearing that it also helps other people's amazing. And if other people are, want to tune in and I didn't provide the daily video diary, then suddenly I'm like, wow, is this bigger than me now? So is there an effort that's a little bigger and expected? Okay, so all of these things are running through my head. So what am I gonna do? First of all, none of this feels uncomfortable or like a negative emotion. This doesn't feel like a negative emotion. Rather, right now, to me, this just feels like, that is a curiosity, and that's very interesting. That, I'm thinking about this. So I think the exercises over the last 8 months of daily, pretty much curiously observing my thoughts, has given me the ability to tap into that kind of observer mindset much more quickly versus just reacting off of an emotion like, oh gosh, I let myself down and I feel bad, and going into a spiral in my mind. Now it's just, that is something I want to think about. And then I go into, well, what's most important to me? That's the question. And so I get to ponder that. Do I have an answer to that yet? No, I do not. However, on the spot, just processing out loud, like I do, I think that having a little bit of flexibility is okay. And, it was a day well spent, and that, I think, is also an example. It's compassionate and graceful for myself. It's showing, I think, my family, even just energetically, and my children, that sometimes you need a day off from commitments. The rest and the play and the adventure and the spontaneity and those things, they can be important for well-being as well. And maybe we can't always build that in structurally. I think we often have Monday through Friday work weeks, and then the weekend is when you get to do those things, and you better plan it so it'll fit on those days. And yeah, I get it. It's definitely a part of reality, and we lived that life for so long and still do. Hubby's still working the Monday through Friday schedule. And couldn't we give ourselves a little grace to be flexible and at ease with whatever comes, and trust ourselves to be quick on our feet, right? Make adjustments at the time, and if I choose to do something otherwise, trust myself that that was the most important thing for me that day. So I think that's how I will approach it, is to try to not take it too seriously, take it like the adventure that it is, still honor my commitment, still come back and refocus on my commitment. It's important to me to see out this year because I feel like I'm right in the middle of transformation, and it feels amazing. I've gotten past the really incredibly uncomfortable part of it, and now getting into the generative and creative, and don't even know what to call it. I don't want to say productive because that word makes me feel like after being in the corporate world for so long, I am not a machine. But it does feel like this very creative space right now that's more fun to be in versus, uncomfortable. So, yeah. So that's what I'm thinking about today. And we're going to go with, just be flexible or be light on your feet. Trust yourself to make the right decision with whatever comes your way. Thanks for being with me on this journey. I'm so glad that you're here, and I hope it helps you too. I'll see you tomorrow.